Hello, this is Kim from Kenny Lou Crochet. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kim. I talk about crochet, of course, yarn. I just recently started weaving. It's difficult, but I'm working on it. It's difficult to get started. This little tail right here tickling my neck. This is a Bailey. She is a pit bull. This is a recliner. She's sitting on the back of my recliner right now. Oh, you want to say hi? You want to say hi? She's so pretty. She's so pretty. I'm sorry about the brightness. It's a beautiful day in Port Huron, Michigan, and the sun is shining. So I introduced you to Bailey. Like I said, she's a pit bull. She's like 40 pounds. And she likes to sit on the back of this recliner. She'll lay down. Oh, yep, there she goes laying down to look out the window. I think she thinks she's a cat. All I know is she's wrecking my recliner, and I'm not stopping her. So, and then this buddy boy right here, this is Titan. He is a boxer, and they don't leave me alone. They're just always on me. They're both 7. My kids are Kenny and Lou. They are both in college. Kenny is 21, lives here. Lou is 18 and is in a dorm at Wayne State until the end of the month. So that's me. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day. I ended up I had an appointment with my psychiatrist today. I have a psychiatrist. I have, a couple of those acronym diagnoses. If you guys ever want me to talk about them, I'm not ashamed. I'll get into all that. That's one of the reasons that I do talk about my struggles with mental illness, is that more people should. It should not have as much stigma as it does, but, that's what it is. So anyway, I had my appointment with my psychiatrist, and I live in St. Clair County. That's where Port Huron is. So I go to St. Clair County Community Mental Health. I highly recommend to anyone that is struggling, seek out your local county mental health. They're sliding fee scales. They take insurance. They're, at least the one that I go to, I'm very grateful to them. So anyway, I had my appointment to get my medication refills, which then, as soon as my doctor sent them over, the pharmacy closed for lunch. So I'll have to have someone pick up. My oldest is still at the boyfriend's house. Kind of usually comes home Sunday nights, but did not. And I even text like, hey, should I lock the door? And they were like, no, I'll be home. And then I woke up and no Kenny. So anyway, once Kenny gets home, I'll have them go pick up my meds. And then, excuse me. And I was a bad procrastinator. But my taxes are done. And me and my kids, we did them all together. Not together, like legally, how you're supposed to do it. We just sent them to the same person so they could do them all at once. Excuse me. And so I'll have Kenny pick up the taxes as well. Oh, yeah. I don't know why you care about my taxes. You don't. I wanted to tell you about my appointment with my psychiatrist. It's really cool the way that he does it. He does like a big screen TV, and he does it from his home, but it's telehealth, but I'm in that office, so they can get my weight, my blood pressure, make sure everything's going good there, get blood draws if I need blood draws. I can get my injections there, and then I see him over screen in an office, and we're able to talk, and like he can like look at me and I can look at him. As I don't see very well, so I'm glad that they use a big screen, but so I can see his shape and such. But he told me that he said when he first met me that he thought it was going to be a really, really long road to recovery. I mean, I've been seeing him for 4 years now, and he told me that I surprised him and that I'm doing exceptionally well. So it almost made me tear up. I got some pride going on. Now, that doesn't mean I'm cured of mental illness. I still have mental illness. It just means that my symptoms of my mental illness are under control right now. Mostly. everything but my anxiety is under control right now, mostly. Either through coping skills I've gotten through my therapist, through ongoing talk therapy sessions, through my caseworker helping me get things in place in my life and making sure my needs are met, and that I'm helping me out with different programs that they offer, through my peer support specialist, who that is someone who has been through crises with mental health and or drug or alcohol abuse. With CMH, it's not an or. It's either mental health crisis or mental health and substance abuse, alcohol abuse, something like that. And then also through my medications. My medications are really helping me. I still have a hard time leaving the house. I've actually left the house. I told you last Wednesday when I went to see my therapist and my peer that I hadn't left the house in 2 weeks, which I hadn't. And then I had an appointment at CMH on Friday with my caseworker, and then today with my psychiatrist. And then I have another one, I think this Wednesday or Friday, with my caseworker again, because all my annual paperwork is due. So every year, there's different things that they have to do. They have to go through the paperwork with the laws regarding the rights of people with mental illness, because we are a class that is more likely to be taken advantage of or abused or neglected, things like that. There are laws in place. Because it used to be just lock them up, lock them up, lock them up. Now there's something called a person-centered plan in place for people, at least for myself, for people with more severe mental illness. And that's something where I get together with my caseworker, with anyone else that I want to come with me, with any of my other workers that I might want, and we put a plan in place, goals that I want to accomplish, and steps to accomplishing those goals, with outside help possibly from this person or that person. So anyway, that's a person-centered plan. It's really cool that they do that now. That what they try and do is they try and do the least restrictive care appropriate. So some people may need to be hospitalized for one reason or another. Some people might live on their own. Some people might have to have their medications given to them dose by dose. Some people might not need to be in a hospital setting, but might need 24-hour eyes-on supervision. Some people might, it varies completely on your level of care. They want the lowest level of care necessary for you. For me, I live alone. Well, I don't live alone. I live with my oldest. But I don't have to have care workers that come in my home. I go to them. And if something were to happen, if my mental health took a turn, usually people don't have things beyond my level unless they have had their guardianship taken away from them. That means that it's been decided by a court that they cannot make their own decisions for themselves. It takes a lot to get there, as it should. I do not have a guardian. I am my own guardian. But at that point, someone might need to be placed into a group home, or they might have to have, if they have a history of abusing their medication or not taking it or going off it for one reason or another, or having or attempted suicides or suicidal ideations with their medications, they might have to have a worker come in or a trusted person that would give them dose-to-dose medication. I don't know why I'm going all into this. This is a huge explanation of the mental health system that you guys don't care about, and is not necessary. This is a crochet channel. What are you doing, Kim? Okay, so any questions about mental health? I've worked on both sides of it. I managed, before I got sick, before I started losing my eyesight and started having really big mental health issues. I've always had anxiety. I've always had depression to varying degrees. But it got really, really bad. But anyway, so before that, I worked for a company that took care of adults with severe mental illness. It was a nonprofit called, if you ever want to donate to a nonprofit that helps adults with severe mental illness, this is the one I worked for, is ALS-LM, Adult Learning Systems, Lower Michigan. And we had people in a couple different levels of care, but our most common one were group homes. So it's a group home that is staffed 24 hours a day, and there would be like 6 people. It's a house. And there's 2 people. These people live there, and staff come and go and see to their needs as they see fit. I'm sure we had some that were on complete lockdown, but most group homes are not. People can come and go as they please. They sign out, they sign in. If they want to go somewhere, they can. You can, unless something's in place, you can't stop them, as you shouldn't. People should be able to leave their homes if they want and go out into the community, unless there's a severe reason why they shouldn't. And at that point, it's going to be health and safety is what it's going to be. Either their own health or the health of others, which it's usually their own health. People shouldn't be afraid of people with mental illness. Yeah, you do see people going nuts and having homicidal ideations and hurting people, but that's so rare. It's way more likely that they're going to have suicidal ideations. And anyway, I've done it again. So all that to say, I've worked on both sides of it. I have now been a mental health patient for the past almost 5 years. And I worked for ALS-LM, getting up to the manager of a group home. I worked there for 7 years, something like that. So I know a lot about mental health. If anyone ever has any questions or concerns about anything, I don't know if you can find my email, but if you can't, I should start putting it into... I'm going to start putting into the descriptions of all my videos. My email is kennyloucrochet@gmail.com. So I think I'm going to title this All About Mental Health, because that's all I've talked about. So the last thing, since we're doing that, the last thing I want to talk about is the Crochet to Cope program. That's the program that taught me how to crochet. I was signed up for it through CMH, Community Mental Health. My caseworker got me into the class. The class was held at the facility. It's a pretty facility too. If anyone ever wants to Google St. Clair County Community Mental Health, yeah, it's pretty. They wanted to make it pretty on the outside, not like wasted tax dollars pretty, but it's pretty. And I had already. My vision was really bad by then, because this was only just over a year ago, and they taught me hand over hand crochet. So they'd take their hand, and I'd put my hand on top of it, and they would move my fingers around to feel the stitches and feel what they were doing, and then we'd do opposite. I'd try and do it. They'd verbally be telling me and manipulating my fingers and moving my hands, helping me feel what I was doing and helping me do it. That's how I learned how to crochet. Now that I've got the basic stuff, I can pretty much just hear what someone's saying, and I might have to listen to it 5 or 6 times, but I can pick up a tutorial pretty well by now. Yeah, so Crochet to Cope, good program. If you or anyone you know works in this field, or with seniors, or in day programs, or with adults with developmental disabilities, Crochet to Cope is great. It has shown that it increases self-esteem, it increases self-confidence, it decreases anxiety. Think of a fidget spinner, and think of when you crochet. If you are doing this, people on the autism spectrum, if you're doing this, and you have something to focus on, and you have somewhere to put your eyes, you're more likely to be able to talk. And plus, it's a hobby that is also a skill, that is also, how do I say this? It produces like necessary things, you could just make washcloths. It you don't have to make an amigurumi, even although that's great. That can increase someone's self-esteem. Absolutely. Going from yarn to a dinosaur, absolutely. And for the right person, that will be a good motivation for them to create their favorite thing. But for someone who already feels guilty about spending all their time that their family might need them on themselves and their mental health, making a washcloth might feel better and more okay to do for people who already have that guilt. That guilt that I can't, like I've had this for a while. It's gotten a lot better, but that whole thing, like, what use am I anymore? I can't drive my kids around anymore. My kids have to read things to me. I can't see. I can't walk. I can't. You get all the can'ts in your head. Like, how can I be a mom anymore when I can't cook? Couldn't cook for a while because I kept burning myself and cutting myself. I can't. You know how awful I felt going to prom dress shopping with my youngest? Having her come out and say, "How's it look, Mom?" And I go, "Just gorgeous. You look so beautiful." And just lying. Not lying to say that she didn't look great, but lying because I don't have any clue. And she knows that I don't have any clue what she looks like. I don't know what color that is. I can't tell what it fit. She ended up picking a dress that was textured, so I could feel it, which very, very, very sweet. But I felt like the biggest asshole in the world for a really long time. But for me to be able to do something as simple as, "Hey, Mom, can you make me this?" And I can do it. Or I'm making a washcloth that my kids can use, and I can feel good about that because that's 100% cotton, and that's not sponges that have whatever else is in them. And I can make 20 of them, and we can wash them twice a day, or we can use 2 a day. Something as simple as that can make someone feel useful. And instead of taking time out of their day to go to group therapy or talk therapy or this appointment or that appointment or this class or that class away from their family that focuses on yourself, this is something you can bring around to your family. So, Crochet to Cope, great program, community mental health. If you have any questions, concerns, you can leave them in the comments, or if you don't want to, if you want to ask me something more specific. I know the laws and the things for the state of Michigan. I'm guessing recipient rates are going to be the same pretty much anywhere, but there are going to be nuances. And I am not a lawyer, and I'm not currently in the care side of mental health anymore. Obviously. Yeah, that wouldn't work, would it? Here, sir, here are your medications. Are you sure those are mine? No, I'm not, because I can't read the paper. That's just one example. Anyway, look, I started my nephew's blanket. It is I'm guessing about 4 feet long with my wingspan. It goes from 4.5 feet, I'd say. I want to do 4.5 by like 6.5, and I'm doing color gradients. So it's going to go from red to black, and I'm doing 2 at a time, so that with my 5 color changes, it ends up being 9 color changes, because I'm changing 1 strand at a time. Once I get this as thick as I want it, I'm going to measure it, multiply it by 9, and make sure it's as long as I'm going to want it to be. And now I know how many rows I want to go per color change. So my first color change will go, only one of these strands will go to the next color. Then the next color change, the other one will go to the next color. So I'll have 2 of the next color, and so on and so forth. So like this one will be 2 different sections. This red will be in 2 different sections. And I might even make it 4 different sections, because the red and the black will only... Okay, so if you think about it this way, I've got the 5 colors. On the one side, I've got the red. On the other side, I've got the black. The 3 are in the middle. So the red would have 2 strands, so it'll have 1 section. And then the next section will have 1 strand and then 1 of this color. So it'll only have 2 sections. Versus the middle ones will have 1 section with their color, 1 section with the previous, another section with both of theirs, and then the third section, 1 their color, 1 the next. So I'm thinking, because all the middle is going to be so much like, I'm thinking about doing 11 sections instead of 9, and having the red and the black have 2 sections each with the double strand, if I'm explaining that properly. And this is the design I'm doing. I would have to look, it's a bag a day. I think it's Queen's Cushion. I will look it up and I will put it in the description, along with my email. And this is all Big Twist yarn. This is actually the first and only chance I'll be able to use Big Twist yarn. Big Tits yarn. Because I was late to the game with yarn, and I only went to Joann's to buy yarn like twice. I'm so sad about it. But I'm happy to be able to make this. My nephew just graduated from boot camp, and so I'm making him his blanket. Yeah, so. All right, well, let this go. Lynn, you're going to hate me. You're really going to hate me. I have another yarn unboxing tomorrow. It's from J. Philpott again. I decided that, well, I had a $5 off coupon from Etsy for my birthday, and so I had to use it. You know, like, I would be wasting money if I didn't. So I had already gotten 2 of J. Philpott's yarn mystery bags off of Etsy in the past, and they were amazing. And I do have a video of that as well. I'll try and link it in the description if I can figure out how to do that. I don't know if I can. But I'm probably I'll either do that tomorrow, or I'm going to record it today because I have no self-control and I know myself and I won't be able to be stopped. So I have to open it today. So I'll record the video today, but it's coming out sometime this week. But I am so sorry, Lynn, that I am a yarn enabler. I know it. I know you don't have room. I'm bad. Sorry. Well, with that being said, my next video, if it's not that yarn unboxing, I have a sweater that I've already done one little intro video to, and I've unraveled the front panel. So I might finish that because I want to finish unraveling that sweater, but I want to do a video on it. Excuse me. I took a picture of it before I started unraveling, and then I couldn't be stopped. So I kept going and was like, no, stop, Kim, stop. You want to make this a video. Stop. And I couldn't do it. So I have one section unraveled, and maybe I'll do that tomorrow. But, yeah. Oh, and, well, we'll let that one be a surprise. Next week I've got something else coming. It's coming before, but you probably won't see it till next week. Actually, I'm going to say, because it's a mystery box from Etsy, but it's a bag a day mystery box, but it's different. It's her scrap yarn. Check it out. She's got 10 and either 5 and 10 pound or 10 and 20 pound boxes of scrap yarn for $60 and $90. And they were still on Etsy as of this morning. That's a hell of a deal. Sorry, you're an enabler. I know. All right, well, I'm going to get off here. Look at this baby girl, first of all. She's so peaceful. She's just sleeping. I hope you can see her. She's so pretty. She's sleeping on the windowsill. Okay. All right. Well, if you like this video, think about subscribing. I do post every day. Comment what you're working on or whatever. But that was my TED Talk. Oh, Titan's awake. When he wakes up, his face is all like Shih Tzu like. Yeah. So that was my lecture on the mental health system in St. Clair County, Michigan. If you didn't like this, then why are you still here? Bye.